Hi everyone, thank you very much for stopping by and for returning to the Old World. Today I'm commenting on the Warhammer Not 40k preview that was released on the 1st of July 2023. Now this preview, as its title suggests, is designed to cover a whole range of games, and we were told that it would involve some Warhammer Old World. I'm going to be honest, I think I share the very vocal disappointment in the chat that the Warhammer Old World preview consisted of a single model, so we don't have an awful lot to chat about here, but we'll chat about it anyway. What did we see? Well, we saw a Bretonnian battle standard bearer on a horse. Now this is a fairly chunky looking model, difficult to say exactly because it wasn't shown in conjunction with any other models, but looks fairly robust. Big flag, armed with a Morning Star. Interesting choice of weapon that takes quite a bit of concentration to use, can be difficult to use at the same time as making sure you don't drop a big banner, but looks really cool. Sword as a sidearm and shield strapped to the horse. Yeah, we're going into the helmet style, which I don't think is amazing, but it's very much the style they've gone to. I can live with that. I've moved on. I say that although I'm mentioning it yet again. But yeah, overall, I really like the look of this model. It looks really nice. The downside of the model is this is going to be produced in resin. They've said as part of the preview there will be some plastic miniatures coming. This one isn't going to be one of them. So I can only hope that it's a good quality resin and we're not going to see a return of the oft feared and so-called fail cast. The one other aside I want to pick up on is in terms of lore. The presenters talked around the battle standard bearer being a significant person in the army, be it a warden or something along those lines. But they also used the phrase Earl, which I thought quite interesting. So normally I'd associate the nobles of Bretonnia as being dukes or counts, leaning into the more French terminology. And I know I've done videos before talking about medieval France being a big influence for Bretonnia. So the use of the term Earl is quite interesting because it leads into those elements that are less French. It may have been a slip of the tongue, but if it wasn't, it's leaning more into the Germanic influences that come through England and the Avignon Empire. And I know, again, a lot of people have commented on my previous videos around the influences from those areas that go into Bretonnia. But it does make me wonder if there's going to be maybe a shift towards that sort of element, but at this point, who knows? As I say, it could just be merely a slip of the tongue. Overall, my views of the preview, actually I was quite disappointed, and I'm recording this while seeing the chat trickle through as they round off the preview, and there's an awful lot of disappointment in there too, particularly around the lack of Old World material. On the one side it's good, it does seem a lot of people are excited for it, but it does seem that we're not moving particularly far forward with the project. Now, I kind of get that at the moment because Warhammer 40k has seen so much attention recently with the release of 10th, and that will have taken up so many resources from Games Workshop. But in May, you may recall, they did promise us a developer diary in June. That didn't come. We're now in July, and what have we seen? We've seen one model in resin, and we didn't even see one Bretonnian and one Tomb King as we've done previously. So overall pretty disappointing. I will quickly touch on a couple of the things that may take people's interest. I'm not going to talk about them in detail here. There have been a couple of nice looking Age of Sigmar models come out. Taldic, I think it was Vedra, something like that, on a Manticore. That looks like it could be really cool with a little bit of conversion work. Might be quite interesting for an old world army. Some nice looking Kalan Pestilence for Warband. And for Age of Sigmar, some perhaps slightly disappointing sounding lore in that the Cities of Sigmar take the heads and body parts of their ancestors to battle with them and then communicate with their ancestors, having done some rites so that they can talk to the deceased that have come before them. That sort of necromancy doesn't really... Maybe it's an Age of Sigmar thing, but given that Cities of Sigmar have been drawn very much from the old world, sort of necromancy is not something you'd normally expect followers of Sigmar to like. Maybe I say it's an Age of Sigmar thing rather than an old world thing, but who knows. So yeah, overall, there's not a lot here. I've spoken for too long about nothing already, so I'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for listening. I'm returned to the old world. Have a great day.